What is up, guys? Welcome back to the channel. Okay, today we're going to be doing something a little bit different. We've been on this Divco milk truck for the last 2 or 3 videos, and we're going to kind of step away from that from here a little bit. And we're gonna kind of go over a few tools I use around the shop. I've been getting lots of questions as far as what do I have, where can I get them, how much do they cost, what do you use them for, whatever it is. I got lots of questions. So today we're going to go over a few tools that I use consistently, daily throughout the shop. That, well, maybe they'll help you out in your day-to-day hobbyist business, whatever you want to call it. Anyways, stick around. If you're not subscribed, hit that subscribe button. If you are subscribed, share this out. Maybe your mother wants to see this, your brother, your dog, your sister, your brother, somebody else may want to see this. So just, copy the link, send it to your Facebook, send it to your Instagram. I don't know, fax it. Write down the HTTP www, whatever, YouTube share handle, whatever, and fax it to them. Email it, put it in the paper, whatever you want to do. Let's go. One of the tools I use a lot of when I'm trying to make a sharp radius in a panel, whether it be like an offender well or like a body line or something like that, is, T-dollies. The name comes from the number T, and it's a dolly. You hammer on the top of this. So T-dollies. I went ahead and cut some round bar just to kind of show you kind of what it looks like in the raw form. I use all the way from 1/8 all the way up to 1 inch. And I use 2 different variations in each size, meaning I use a straight T, and then I go over to the brake. And if you don't have a brake, you can just kind of heat this up in a vise, heat up the middle and kind of bend it at like a 45. And then I use a broken radius, basically T-dolly. So here's what I use. It's 2 inch wide. I cut it about 6 inches long. It's 3/16 plate. Grind down your edges. Get everything kind of squared up to where you want it, where you like it. And we get that tacked in where we need to. Turn sideways. Kind of finish your welds out. Smooth off your corners here. And well, there you go. There you go. That's one of the tools I use. T-dollies. Pretty quick to make, pretty simple to make. They're very cheap, and well, they work wonders on doing any type of tight radiuses on any of your panels. All right, another tool we're going to be adding to the old collection here in the shop is basically a T-dolly holder for those said T-dollies I showed you earlier in the video, and that's that's where this 6x6 comes into play. I've got a 4-inch vise. We're going to put that on top of the end of this. It's going to be kind of like a mobile station again, something I can pick up, move around if I need to. It's going to store the dollies, the hammers, really anything I want to use it for. So, yeah, let's get to building that. All right, so I don't want just like a piece of wood, plain wood. I don't know, just sitting around there. It just kind of looks goofy. I want to add a little bit of character to it. So I think I'm going to make some sort of, I don't know, go up, arc or something. Something that looks like it's been around for a while. I don't know, some sort of like tall arched window, but out of metal and the wood. And then inside that, actually, as I'm sitting here talking, I think I don't have a spot for those grinders either. So, wonder if we can integrate that into the top side, something. I don't know. I got 2 of these, so there you go. I'm gonna add something there. Let's go over to the CNC computer and see if we can draw up something to kind of make, I don't know, some sort of design feature. All right, here's my thought process, okay? Here's kind of arches I was kind of talking about. It'll go on the wood. I don't know if I'm going to do all 4 sides or if I'm just going to do the 2. These are going to be some sort of hammer holders. These will bend up, and then these plates will go over those holes just to kind of give it a 3D effect of some sort. These outside holes are your mounts, and then the 4 holes in the middle are basically to where I can plug weld those, and that you won't see any welds into it. There is some hammer holders. Nope, that's going to be grinder holders, and then over here is going to hold those T-dollies, and then I kind of threw a logo in there. So if we combine all that kind of stuff together, slap it on the wood, we put the vise on top, well, this is what you get right here. So here's the slots. Here's the logo, my dollies. This is holding the grinders, the hammers. There's the design I was talking about. I didn't want to have to show any weld on there. Basically, it's plug welded from the back and mounted that way. So got our T-dollies there, got a grinder there, got a grinder there. Keep going around, another hammer. And well, this is the top piece that will hold, if I can do this one-handed, like that. Basically, I can take that around. This will be my dolly surface or my hammer surface. All my different variations will be down there. And well, there's a base too. Just haven't put it on there. A buddy of mine sent me an old excavator gear, whatever you want to call it, hold the track on. I'm not a big excavator knowledge person, but I think that turns the gears, tracks. All right, there you go. There's another tool. On to the next. All right, so this next tool is a DIY profiling hammer. When you get the kit, it looks just like this. It comes in a few different pieces. You've got to put that thing together, and well, this is what it looks like here. All right, this is your finished product. It took me probably about an hour and a half or so to kind of get it assembled. I will drop the link to the video in the description of how this actually goes together. I'll also drop a link down in the description on where you can get one of these. I like them because they're versatile. You can kind of use whatever you can kind of go get a profile off a car, make it out of some putty, make it out of a flat stock piece of steel, put it in here, and well, in about 10-15 minutes, you got yourself a profile of whatever you're trying to do. So I've got a piece of scrap metal. I'll go ahead and run it through here for you. I'll show you kind of how quick it does it. You do got to kind of creep up on these when you do it. You don't just come in there full blasting it. Start off kind of slow, work your metal in there, and then just kind of make a few passes until you get the profile and the height you need on that profile. So here we go. All right, there you go. There you can see the profile of this die has now been transferred over to the metal, hence the word profiling hammer. I know this ain't the straightest. Like I said, you could probably put a guard on there of some sort to make it easy. I just wanted to get a quick sample in there to kind of show you what this hammer does and why I like it so much. Like I said earlier, also, you can take and go get really any profile off a car, make it out of some Bondo. Let me see. It comes with some blanks, so you can take those profiles, put them on the end of these dies, put them in that hammer, and well, there you go. You got yourself a panel. So if you want to get one, check it out in the description. On to the next. I think every fabrication shop needs a metal cutting chop saw. This does not have the 14-inch abrasive disc that usually it comes with. Probably what most shops are running to. This has a 14-inch metal cutting, looks just like a wood blade, but it is for cutting steel. I use this thing probably every other day. I cut through thick stuff, thin stuff, big stuff, long stuff, thin stuff, whatever you want to call it, short stuff. I cut through it all, okay? And this blade has had no issues cutting any of that. So why am I showing you this tool? Well, it's time to upgrade this saw because, well, all things come to an end. And this saw, well, has seen better days. I've probably owned this saw for about 10 years, and I think it's starting to slow down on me. So what I did, the blades I use are Evolution. They're called, they're manufactured by Evolution Power Tools, and I reached out to them and said, hey, what you got? You got anything new out there? What can you send me? Well, they did me a solid, and they sent me their brand new 14-inch. I say 14, let me back up. This is actually a 15-inch cutting saw, but it still runs a 14-inch blade. This is their, I don't know, tip-top creme de la creme saw. I've actually not used it yet. I just pulled it out of the box, and well, I want to show you guys a couple things that I believe it's going to cut. I've got some 2.5-inch, quarter-inch wall pipe there. We've got some 2x2 square. That's also a quarter-inch wall. And we've got some 3x4 square tubing or a rectangle tubing. Well, I want to cut through it with y'all watching. Yep, that's what we're going to do. All right, so let's go ahead and go with the round tube first. We'll kind of unscrew that, undo its lock. There's some more instructions if you need them. Now, once again, quarter-inch, 2.5 OD round tube. And this is why I think you guys, everybody, needs one of these saws. Instantly grabbing it. Look, not hot, nothing. Look at that. I mean, come on. Now that saw over there, kind of didn't like doing flat surfaces. I kind of had to adjust the guard on the back of it. Now let's see. Once again, I haven't adjusted anything. I probably should. We're going to see how it cuts on a flat surface. Yep. Still not hot. Look at that. All right, see? That is why I think everybody needs that saw, that blade, that whole setup in their shop as well. So, all right, so one of the things I want to, or I have been wanting to build is basically a holder for all my air tools, okay? So, gonna be playing with my new toy over there. And well, I've already kind of done one for all my clamps here. Basically, I'm gonna be doing the exact same thing, but on this side for my air tools. So I've got to make a few adjustments to the file on there because the air tools cannot be as close as these clamps are. All right, there it is. The 2.5 spacing was dead on. That's the perfect spacing in my opinion as far as keeping these tools off of each other. It's not too far under the table where I can just kind of grab everything and go. Well, I think now I want to add some more over here or over there. I'm not really sure. Not adding them just yet because, well, I don't want to keep repeating myself. Okay, on to the next tool. All right, so one of the things I do a lot of here in the shop is I make a lot of suspension parts, i.e. for this tool, it's going to be your pan-hard bars, it's going to be your lateral bars, your parallel bars, anything that's kind of keeping your suspension on an alignment under the truck or car or whatever you're working on. So one of the things I have to do a lot of is I have to cope a lot of round tube, okay? And in the past, well, I typically use these bung style, bushings, whatever you want to call it. It goes down inside the pipe, gives you kind of adjustment in and out. That's what I would use, okay? Now, I can't always get these. Once I get down to, I don't know, 4 or 5, I like to order some new ones. However, when I order them, sometimes it takes anywhere from 6, 7, 8 weeks to get things in. Waiting on bushings, waiting on bolt, whatever it is the company's waiting on, they're waiting on something. So, in the backup, in the meantime, some of the stuff I do is cope these. So instead of that bung being on there, we put these together perpendicular. And well, you have to cut like a bird's mouth out of there. I went ahead and bought a pipe notcher. Everything on this kit looks very thick, okay? That's a, I don't know, 3/4 plate. All the holes are chamfered nice. No burrs on anything. Pretty heavy duty. So let's go ahead and get this put together and then I'll kind of show you. I may not actually cope a pipe, but I will at least show you what it looks like as far as getting everything together and what the end product looks like. This is your base, this is where the pipe is going to set in there, and then the drill is going to come down and cope your stuff. So, well, we need some sort of standoff that's going to hold my pipe. There's the standoff. This is the clamp that is on the standoff that will adjust to in and out. So that'll sit something like this. Slides in there like that. This is your drill side. That's the side that's going to go in the drill. And this is the side that's going to have your bit on it, or your chuck. Slide her through. All right, here it is kind of the vise. You don't have to use it just in the vise. There is some holes right here that if you were to hard mount it to a bench or whatever else, that's cool too. But kind of a quick overview, you can pull this out of here. You can move all of these around. There is a ruler here, so it tells you kind of what size pipe you're going to be using. That would be on there. And there is a stop here also. So if you were going to cut the end of the pipe, probably need to get a little bit of lube on that. But the drill bit would go here, your hole saw, and it would come right through the side of the pipe. This is for bringing your pipe. If my pipe was longer, go all the way to the end here. Now, let's say you want to have the pipe kind of come all the way out here, cut it through, and kind of have two sides. So you can use two pieces and cope it. Well, you can pull this little quick release. That drops away. Now you can cut right through it and cut two pieces. So pretty easy, pretty straightforward. These right here, these are going to save a lot of time, a lot of flap disc, a lot of aggravation. So, all right, one of the last things I want to show you, I got kind of laying around the shop is where all my metal cutting things, shears, snips, whatever you want to call it. I've got some hand ones up here that just hand snips, take them to your project you're working on, kind of cut out some stuff, do some fine trimming, whatever you need to do. I do have a throatless shear mounted to my table here, which works really good for bigger panels, longer runs, stuff that you don't really want to wear your hands out with. You ain't putting a big sheet metal piece on here. Just once again, fine tuning long cuts versus, snipping through things. Nobody wants to keep doing this all day or bringing panels to it. So I've had this power shear for probably 15 years. So I use it a lot for long runs. That's more or less taking my big panels down to a smaller panel. Then I'll bring it over to this and kind of start fine tuning with the hand ones or the throat shears. It works good, but it's old. I haven't really kept up with the maintenance on it. I don't even know if I've ever replaced the blades in there. Basically, it's just hand shears, but automated. It's kind of like a beak, kind of comes down and cuts the metal. So, because that's so old, and because it's aggravating me as far as cutting things through, I had to do a little bit of upgrade too. And I upgraded to the Makita 1602. This thing will cut up to 16 gauge metal. If I can plug it in. And boy, does it zip, okay? Look at that. You can do good curves on it. There you go. There you have it. That is kind of the tools I use on a day-to-day basis here in the shop. It really helps me get through the day. It kind of helps my production go up a little bit as well. And it kind of gives me a better product at the end with those tools I just kind of showed you. Thanks a lot, guys, for sticking around. Now, before we end this, I have been getting messages and emails and all kinds of stuff that people, haven't heard of me. And I was like, well, that's your bad, all right? No, anyways, share this thing out, guys. Let's keep growing this channel. We've been growing it pretty quick over the last few months, which is all thanks to you guys. And well, I can't do any of this stuff without you guys. I mean, I could post videos and just randomly sit there on the internet, but we ain't growing without you guys. So I want to say a huge shout out to everybody out that is subscribed or even watching right now. If you are watching, you're not subscribed, hit that subscribe button there at the bottom or share this out. Cut the link, paste it to some, I don't know, stick it on your front door or your mailbox as well. Or maybe QR code me and put it on the mailbox so when UPS or FedEx or somebody comes by and they're bored, boop, scan Vintage 10 Customs while they're, delivering mail, throwing boxes or whatever it is. It's that simple. Thanks a lot, guys. We will see you guys next time.